After a long and hot summer, today marks the first week of fall training. I'm currently preparing for my very first half marathon that will take place 7 weeks from now on October 6th. But before I worry about the future, I need to focus on the present. This will be my fourth week at 90 miles and my first week doing two big workouts. With that out of the way, let's get the week started. Now that the summer is over, we're going to start dialing in a little bit more on the workouts that I'm going to be doing for, specific types of races. We're going to keep that threshold the same pretty much, but that second workout of the week, instead of doing, a progression run like I was doing throughout the summer, it's going to be something else, and that's going to be something that me and Era are going to decide as the weeks go on. It'll be pretty much different every week, which will be nice because it just gives me something else to, look forward to for my second workout of the week, or sometimes even first workout of the week. But today we are focusing on that threshold. Like I said, we're going to head to the track. We're going to do 8 miles, hopefully at a 6-minute pace. Again, I've been feeling really good doing this, so I don't expect this to be anything difficult. But with that being said, like, even if I'm able to do 10 miles or 8 miles at 5:50 pace, I want to keep it right at 8 miles at 6-minute pace, make it as easy as possible. And the big part about this week is the fact that this is the first workout, and I'm going to do my second workout on Thursday. So I want to make sure that I am in a position where I can easily recover for that next workout on Thursday, because it's likely going to be harder. So the goal is this morning just to roll through these miles as easily as possible and hope that I can recover as well as I can going into the next workout this week. And then, we'll add some 200s in afterwards, and hopefully everything will be good. You know, I talk about it often, but these threshold workouts really are just a great building block to what I'm trying to do, like the big goals that I'm trying to achieve. It's just based off of high mileage threshold work, and being able to complete these 8 mile thresholds just go a long way. I'm really, really happy with that. 200s were also pretty solid, building up. And we did have a little bit of headwind on the home stretch. So I was going a little bit faster, trying to just make sure I was, executing through that. And then making sure that obviously I start picking it up a little bit more on the back stretch to make sure I'm hitting all my mileage goals, which, all worked out really well. Unfortunately, there weren't hurdles at the track today. They were all put away. So, I'll have to shoot my high school coach a text and ask if he can leave a couple out for me so I can do hurdle mobility. And then, just getting in our double later today, easy, 40 minutes, which is really nice to be building back up to that point. And now we are out at beautiful Moose Island. Jimmy T's parked right next to me. We're gonna bring out the wheel to measure. We're hopefully gonna measure a mile, and we're probably gonna be doing mile repeats down here on Thursday. The reason why I wanted to do it down here instead of a track is just because this is like a really nice loop. It's paved, very flat, and it's just a change of scenery, of course, which is really nice. Plus, I've been wanting to do workouts down here for a long time. It's just hard because the gate doesn't open until X amount of time, so I kind of have to, figure out a way to get in here without having the cars in here, which we can do, and then hopefully the gate will open up by the time I'm ready to start the workout. So we're just gonna take care of measuring that out, and hopefully we'll be all good to go for Thursday. So the plan originally was to do mile repeats tomorrow, but after discussing it with coach, he thinks it'd be a better idea to do K repeats instead, which just means that I get to stay on the loop the entire time instead of having to go up the little 10, 15 foot hill at the start and then obviously going back down at the end. So glad I did measure out a 1K loop just in case while I was there with my dad yesterday, so that's really nice. But yeah, it's looking like we're gonna do 10 to 16 by 1K in the morning. I'm definitely not gonna be rushing out the door to get there because I just don't know when the gate's gonna open up. They might leave it open tonight. They might not open it till 5:30, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
we'll see. I can do my warm-up without a problem. I just need to wait till the gate opens to, obviously get Jimmy T in there and get everything set up to go. So that's pretty much the only thing I'm really all that worried about. I think I am going to bring the point and shoot to have Jimmy T on the bike filming next to me so you guys get some clips of the workout. We'll bring the drone with too and try to put that up for maybe 1 or 2 of the reps. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty upbeat pace, but not very fast. I think 3:30 per kilometer. It's definitely a solid pace with a minute rest. We're not doing anything too crazy, but it is a great threshold type workout. So, this will be really solid work to be getting in right now. And I mean, we'll see how it goes. Obviously, don't want to push 2:16 if I'm not feeling good, but at the same time, we'll see how I feel.
No, it's definitely not easy, but it's a 328, 329. We love that, we love that. That's 16 reps at 330 pace. I mean, whew, nice.
It has to be said that going into this workout, I was really not expecting to do 16 reps at, 540, 539 pace. And I was really not expecting the kilometer to be measured out long. And once we went through that first lap and I looked down and I'm averaging, 535 and going 330 per kilometer, I'm like, oh, this is definitely off. But I'm going to be honest, what a workout to be able to run 16 reps faster than prescribed. The biggest problem realistically is that I did go faster than what was prescribed. And that means my heart rate's going to be a little bit higher for the average of the reps. Maybe I shouldn't have done 16. It's really hard to say exactly, what you should do in that situation. And especially because, my coach isn't here. I can't just turn to him and say, hey, here's what's going on. I made a mistake. I measured too long. I'm running around people, so it's not going to be perfect. I'm going a little faster, but I also feel comfortable at this pace. What do I do? So it's like that moment right there where you kind of just have to make the decision for yourself. All right, you know what? maybe I'm running a little extra than a kilometer, maybe I'm running a little faster than prescribed, but you know what? At least I can get to 10, maybe I can get to 12. And then if I still feel good, let's look at 14. That's kind of my mindset going through a workout like this. And I think that's just important to, take it one rep at a time. Don't worry about the end results. Worry about finishing that rep and making sure you're still feeling okay. The one thing that my coach preaches to me is he wants me to finish a workout with more in the tank. He never wants me to finish a workout and be doing my last rep and feeling like, that's all I had left. If you're finishing the last rep and you can't do another one, you worked too hard, you ran too long. So to finish 16 reps and still feel like I had 1, 2, maybe even 3 more in me, it's a great feeling. It truthfully is. And that being said, I probably shouldn't have done 16. Maybe I should have done 14. The last 2 reps were definitely a little bit more difficult. But that being said, I still don't think it was so difficult that I had to stop right there. I think I'm kind of walking a fine line going to that 15th, 16th rep where it's probably going to be okay. Next time though, maybe let's back off and do 14. I'll definitely talk to my coach, break it all down for him, see what he thinks, but I mean, what a workout. Just a fantastic first fall workout. Couldn't be happier. Thank you to Jimmy T for being out here helping me with it. He's the nurse is having him do some like rehab or something like that, so he's trying to take it easy, slowly adding some biking back in so that he can, fully heal up his foot. And, obviously doing a couple loops around here with the camera is not going to be the easiest thing, but we're not going super fast for him on the bike. So, that was really good rehab for him. And yeah, shout out to Jimmy T, because this footage would not be possible without him.
Yeah, why? That's all.
So I actually was feeling a lot better this morning than I was thinking I was going to. I really did think that my legs were going to feel a little shot after the workout yesterday, which partly makes me think like, oh, this is actually really good because that means I didn't go too hard in the workout yesterday. So that's pretty exciting just to know that, I obviously recovered well enough at the very least, and well enough to do a long run tomorrow, which I have work Sunday, so I would have had to do it tomorrow regardless. But Jimmy T and Mama T are actually heading out on a little trip to Michigan for the weekend to celebrate one of our friends' birthdays. So they won't be here, which does kind of suck. I'm not going to have Jimmy T to film for you guys tomorrow morning, nor pass me my bottle, give me my gel, stuff like that. I'll still take a gel with me, take that halfway through like I normally do. But you know, it's just one of those days where it's always nice to get some of these runs in by yourself. Like every easy run I do that's by myself is, you know, just another day on the job in a sense. But when you do some of these workouts and easy runs alone, it really just reminds you of like how mentally tough you are and how mentally tough you need to be, especially when you're in races and you're in no man's land. Like it's all you. So it does suck not to have my dad here to drive next to me tomorrow morning, but it's also putting me into a position where it's like, all right, let's see how mentally tough you are. Let's get you through this long run. You know, you're going to be out there 17 miles on your own. Just, you know, lock in and make sure you can handle it by yourself. So that's the goal for tomorrow morning. And then, you know, one step at a time, focus on that. We'll worry about the rest of the weekend when I get through it. This week from start to finish was just really one of the most perfect weeks I could ask for. You know, starting with that threshold on Tuesday, we had great execution. It felt great. You know, everything was going well. And then into Thursday, we did even better than I expected through that 16 by kilometer workout. And then even continuing that to today with a long run where I'm completely by myself, you know, running up a hill on mile 15, having a low heart rate. It was just great execution throughout the entire week. And it was just one of those weeks that go better than expected, almost perfect, if you ask me. And that doesn't happen often as a runner. I think a lot of us know that, you know, running is a very up and down sport. Sometimes you have a great week, sometimes it feels like the worst week of your life. But something I do think that's really important is that you appreciate those weeks that go really well as much as you can, because remembering how good of a week you can have when you're having one of those down weeks, whether it be, you know, due to injury or illness or just having a bad race, whatever that might be, it's easy to look at having a good week and kind of get some motivation from that and almost use that to rebound into the week after. So I really do think that it's important to,
You know, try to appreciate having a good week as much as you can. And again, just remembering what it feels like when you are having that good week and everything is going the way you want it to, because, you know, you're not always going to have that. It's very rare, honestly, to have multiple good weeks in a row. So I feel very fortunate to be in a place where I feel like everything is going my way. I'm a little scared, obviously, because it kind of means, like, you know, you never know when that, you know, high is going to drop and you're going to hit a low. But that's just something that happens with this sport. It's always going to happen. You're always going to have those moments where things aren't going your way. So, like I said, just take it where you can, run it with stride, and just remember that when you're having a bad week and try to use that as motivation. You don't get these weeks enough, honestly, as a runner, and I think we all kind of know that. So when you get them, just do what you can, enjoy it while you can. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much it from me this week. I really do hope you guys enjoyed the video. Shout out to all my channel members for helping support me with, you know, getting new shoes, helping with race entry, all that stuff. It makes my life a lot easier with your guys' support, so I very, very much appreciate it. And with that being said, take care, love all things. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.